The best time for seeing Egypt, circa 1873, according to John Murray's Handbook for Travelers in Egypt. This is one of those times where, as I've said in other videos, the political and social currents of the 18th and 19th century really shine through, and you get those echoes of the imperialism and the negative social events and social currents that were going on at the time, and that still have echoes and consequences in Egypt to this day. From October to April is the best season for a residence in Egypt. For those who intend to do the whole Nile voyage and who can choose their own time, the months especially to be recommended, both for climate and convenience of traveling, are November, December, January, February, and March. During these months, winds from the north are more or less prevalent, and they not only cool the air, but are absolutely necessary for making progress up the Nile. A good deal will, of course, depend on the destination of the traveler after leaving Egypt. If he intends going to Syria, he should arrange so as not to get there before April, it being too cold to travel comfortably in Syria before that date. For those who propose to do the so-called Eastern tour completely, the following average timetable may be given. Arrive in Egypt about the middle of November and remain there till the end of February, going in a diaba up to the Second Cataract and back. Leave Egypt at the beginning of March and go by way of Sinai and Petra to Jerusalem, arriving there about the second week in April. 5 or 6 weeks in Palestine will then bring the traveler to Beirut before the end of May, the omission from this program of the long desert. A journey undertaken by comparatively few would make a month's difference in the traveler's arrival in Syria, but unless he thinks cold and damp under a tent, it be remembered, less harmful than heat, he had better arrange for spending that month in Egypt. And if he does not care to give more than 3 months to that country, arrive there in December instead of November. Of course, these remarks are not intended to apply to those who merely propose to do the country in the shortest possible time that steam and their own energy can enable them to accomplish it in. They may go from London to the Second Cataract and back in 6 weeks, and any time during the months named above will be as good as another. But even to them, it may be said, choose, if you can, some period between the middle of December and the middle of February. It is perhaps, everything considered, the most delightful season in Egypt. The temperature is delicious, often indeed cool, the Nile neither too high so as to cover land, nor too low so as to look like a huge canal flowing between high banks, over which it is impossible to see from the deck of either boat or steamer, and the country perfectly lovely in coloring. It is in fact springtime. Further information useful for invalids as to the season for visiting Egypt will be found under preliminary information D. Stay tuned for more tidbits.